Ramble.
This podcast is brought to you by Shopify and Bubba Rose and Potluck and Pop It Pal and a million other businesses. Why so many? Because we're sponsored by Shopify and they do everything they can to support the independent businesses on their platform. So they included them in this sponsorship. You know, we use Shopify in everything we do. It really helps us run our business. We love it. You should see all the ways Shopify is supporting independence at shopify.com/independence. Shopify, supporting independence.
Hello one, hello all, and welcome to a very special edition of the TryPod. Today, you've got all of us calling in from our respective homes because we are respecting the idea of social distancing. How ya guys doing?
I'm doing okay. You know, it's. I think yesterday was the toughest day so far, just because it was like, okay, this is it. And also, I had to go to the grocery store, and I was very psyched out to interact with strangers.
Ha ha ha! What fun! How are you doing, Eugene?
I'm doing okay. Probably, I feel fortunate that we have an occupation that allows us to work from home. Certainly feel good about that. And my dogs could not be more thrilled. I'd say my dogs are having the best time of their lives.
As referenced, we are all working from home.
How am I doing, Zach?
How's Ned? Zach?
How's Ned?
How you doing, Ned?
Okay, fine. How are you doing, Ned?
I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good. The weekend felt like a normal weekend. I think many weekends I don't go outside much. Just hang out with the baby all day. But then like Monday, Tuesday, now it's Wednesday. It's really kind of starting to sink in. And it's very tough. I feel like the British BBC broadcaster where I'm doing like conference calls and work at home, and then Wes like barges in and says, "Hello, hi, Daddy."
Oh, that's adorable.
So we are, I'm realizing this is going to be so difficult to know who should talk when because we're all just pausing that like video conference pause. We're all working from home this week, probably next week, possibly the week after and thereafter. You guys know what's going on. It's coronavirus time, so it's important that everyone socially distances themselves, remains at home, and really only goes out if it's necessary for your job or for last minute groceries and stuff.
It's coronavirus time does sound like a slogan of like a beer company or like some fast food, like a veggie dip perhaps brand. Corona. Yeah, perhaps.
How are you doing, Miles?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Eugene. The quarantine has been really good for my video game streaming career. I've won a lot of Fortnite matches, and that's pretty much all I've done. I've looked into us maybe doing some live stream stuff in the future because we'll all be in our homes. That's been exciting.
So, Miles, I had an idea that you should create us in The Sims, and we can release a video called I Made My Bosses in The Sims.
Oh, that's fun. That's a very cute idea. I was trying desperately to get Zach or Keith to play Fortnite with me yesterday, but they did not want to play, and that was fine.
You wanted to do it at 6:30. I'm intermittent fasting right now. Wait, that is my last window of eating time.
Miles,
I can't compromise
6:30
that.
is the only time I can play Fortnite. Why didn't you ask me?
What?
I'm the only one that actually has Fortnite downloaded.
All right, Ned, I'll ask you next time. Me and Will squatted up and we played and I streamed it and it was a full disaster. My internet was way too slow.
I can play from 12:30 to 2:30 or like after 7:30.
All right, that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind.
So for today, I feel like we're all living the same life as you guys out there. We're adjusting to life at home. There's some good things about it. There are some bad things about it. I think for today's podcast, hopefully we can shed light on some of the best things that have happened. But unfortunately, there are some negatives too. I don't want to dive right into a negative.
Okay.
I think we should start with. So Miles, you're taking this opportunity to become a streaming superstar. I guess I'm curious from the rest of you guys. This is an unprecedented amount of time where you are going to be in your home for longer than maybe you've ever been since you were a child. You know, our normal work is going to keep marching on, but what are some productive and proactive things that you're doing to occupy your time productively? Eugene, you're frozen on my screen, so let's start with you.
You know, I'm seeing all these things going around of everyone doing their meetings, and what is the app that has like 50 screens, like a war room? Zoom.
Yeah.
People are having meetings with like up to 50 people. It's crazy.
Whoa.
So if you happen to be watching this on the TryPod YouTube channel, we basically look like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, pretty much. If
Yeah,
you're
very
watching on the
funny.
TryPod YouTube channel, it's probably pretty laggy video and not that fun to watch.
My screen keeps flickering in and out, so I imagine it's a pretty subpar experience watching it on the YouTubes, but you can see what we're wearing. Zach's in like a robe situation. Eugene's wearing a black tank top, classic. Me and
Eugene
Keith.
keeps showing us his nipples.
Yeah, it's pretty
Ooh.
Oh.
Like
Oh.
and
Okay, what-
subscribe.
Since you called out the robe, I guess I'll just jump into the first of the story times from my world. So I have been, based on Ned. Actually, Ned, why don't you tell us? You told me that it's really important to still get dressed for work, right? When you're working at home?
Mm-hmm. You lose track of time, so you got to have that like work-life separation. Make a specific area that's your home office. Specifically, put on pants or get dressed like quote unquote for work. That I have heard helps with a sense of this is my work time and then this is my other time. Because otherwise it all bleeds together and you end up feeling like, I don't know, guilty that you're not working when you're not working and feeling bad about, you know, like when you're working, you're not like maybe as productive as you're supposed to be. So yeah, I've heard that can help. And yesterday I put on like basically a full suit.
Which is more than you ever wear at the office.
That's true. Yeah, it turns out that was too uncomfortable and not a great idea. I'm back to t-shirt and jeans, but at least I have pants on, you know?
So I'm not wearing pants right now, and I had a rude awakening this morning because the water in my apartment is out.
My toilet is
God.
clogged. What is with that? It's like you know, if the water in your apartment's out, that's really bad, even if you didn't have to stay inside all day. But the fact that you have to stay inside all day, that makes it even worse.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. It must be out of my entire building because I turned on like the faucet and it made this like this hiss sound, but nothing came out. And then I went to go turn on the shower and it went like it sounds like the pipes are shaking and about to explode. And then I forgot about it and then I flushed the toilet and it sounded like a bomb exploded. It was the loud.
Oh,
it was like an
wow.
airplane flush. So I'm hoping that it fixes itself because I need to take Bowie for a walk, which means I need to come back and wash my hands. There's only one hand sanitizer and it's in the car with Maggie right now. So like I need to wash my hands all day. I might like travel around with paper towels to open up all of the doors that get me outside to bring them out to pee and then throw them away. But I'm living in a nightmare right now. Everything has been mostly
crazy.
positive, except I have very unfortunate things to share.
Jesus. Yeah.
Well, you know, I have a positive story.
Yeah.
Ready for this? Okay, so I went to the grocery store yesterday because so my grocery store is one of the many grocery stores that's totally wiped out. Like I've been 2 or 3 times since it started just hoping that things have been able to be restocked, but every time I've gone, it's been a shit show and it's been difficult because I can't buy enough groceries to only go to the grocery store once a week, which is really what we should all be doing. And I get, you know, there's certain things you don't need to buy a million things of, certain things you don't, but I normally buy like my groceries every 2 days because I live by a grocery store. So it's a different mentality. However, I was simply, Becky and I, to have an activity to keep us busy and have some creative time, thought, let's make some focaccia bread. That would be easy. All we need is flour, water, yeast, some spices, olive oil. Very simple. So we had everything except yeast. Now, you wouldn't think that yeast would be sold out at every grocery store, but turns out all the yeast was gone.
Oh, I would
all the
definitely
yeast.
think so. I'm making a huge bread plan. That's like, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not buying bread, I'm buying flour. And
So I I was beaten and dejected, and as I walked by our favorite bakery, Becky said, well, why don't you go see if you can buy some of their yeast? And I'm like, they're not going to sell me their yeast. They're a bakery. They need their yeast. But I went in anyway, and I said, hey, do you guys have no grocery store has yeast? Could I buy some yeast? And they were like, yeah, I got you, man. And then I'm thinking he's going to come back with a few packets of yeast. He comes back with 2 pounds of yeast in a package.
Whoa.
And he won't let me pay for it because he knows that I go there all the time, because I do go there all the time. And I'm just like,
that's
you have to
awesome.
let me pay for it. So the plan is, once we ever get back to the office, I'm going to bring in a whole tray of croissants and stuff so I can go.
Keith, you're going to become a
thank
master
you.
baker.
I know. I guess we're going to start baking more, because that is, it's something you can do. You can create your own food. And I guess that's what we're going to do.
I might
now.
have
That's
to
what I
come
was
borrow
snacking on
some
earlier.
because I have I have a jar sized, kind of like a weck jar, but I'm gonna run out at my current rate. But 2 pounds, that's a good amount of yeast.
Yeah, well, I'm selling it for a tablespoon for $5. So
Okay.
come on by and
I'll consider
No, I'm
that.
kidding. No, you can come have some.
I think there's a great reminder there too, actually, where a lot of people are going to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and whatever, their main supermarkets, and stocking up and raiding the shelves. But local businesses are hurting right now, so go to the restaurants if you can. And a lot of people aren't thinking to go to like the family-owned grocery stores that are like the Mexican grocery store, or the Jewish grocery store, or the Asian grocery stores. Like, those are stocked up, and they need your business more than ever because they're not these giant corporations. So try and diversify if you have to go out, which I recommend that you don't, but I know a lot of people weren't able to stock up. So if you have to go out, try and diversify where you're getting stuff from.
Yeah, and when you're able to order takeout from places, right? Like, is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can do that.
I like delivery. Yeah.
And that's my plan tonight. I'm going to go order from Tokyo Fried Chicken Co., which is my favorite small business. It's all the way in Monterey Park, so this will not only kill a whole hour of time to get there and back, but it will yield a delicious dinner.
So you guys know that my brother-in-law is a bar director at a restaurant, right? All restaurants in LA are closed right now, and bars, and they were not able to keep the doors open, just sustaining a takeout business, because that wasn't what people were coming there for. They were coming there for the drinks and the experience. And so then they're just closing down completely for 2 months.
Wow.
And so my brother-in-law was able to take a bunch of food, and now he has all this amazing food in his fridge, but he's filing for unemployment because he doesn't know if he'll come back. This will be announced tomorrow, but we had an idea to because one of the ways that you can help keep your local businesses in business is if you have disposable income, to buy a gift certificate for something that, okay, maybe I'll be able to use it during the summer or in the fall, but this will kind of give the normal money I would be spending at this business to them now. So we're doing a promotion to, if you show us proof of purchase that you bought a gift certificate to a local business, whether it's a restaurant or something else, we will send you a gift certificate to tryguys.com for $5.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really great.
If you support a local business, we'll support you.
We'll support you looking fresh as fuck.
Yeah. And you don't have to order it now, but you got some cash for whenever you want. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Things are crazy. I will say that we've played every board game we have, and Becky and I are not board game people, which is saying something for our current boredom. But we never open. We have this Riverdale Runaround. It's like an Archie themed board game. We didn't know what it was, and then we started playing it, and we realized it's just Sorry, which is one of the best board games ever. But it's just Riverdale themed Sorry.
It's Riverdale Sorry?
That's hilarious.
Awesome.
That's so cool.
How is it themed?
So
There's no interactions in Sorry other than pieces.
Instead of so you have your pieces that are all cardboard cutouts of Riverdale characters, and then you have cards, and the cards give you certain distances you can go forward or backward. So you can actually go backward to knock out your opponents as well.
That's cool.
And you can switch spots with someone on the board. There's like a few power cards you have, so it's like a little bit more creative, I guess, in Sorry, with a few more things you can do, but we only played with 2 people, so it was a very tight game. But I imagine with 4 people, it would be that hilarious chaos that Sari always instigates.
So tonight, I'm going to try to do a teleconference game night with one of my friends. We're going to play Magic the Gathering via FaceTime.
Wow. Oh, that's great.
I'm going to mount the camera, kind of far away so you can see the board, you can see me, and we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of excited to try, because normally I'd like go to a bar, have a couple beers, catch up with my friend, play some cards that are Magic the Gathering cards. I don't know. We'll see. So we should do a Catan night where we're both playing on our own board, but we know that certain other places, we like move other people's pieces for them. That could work.
That could work.
I was planning that with Kelsey Dara, and she you can play Catan mobile, so we were gonna FaceTime and then play on our mobile device.
I like
but the
that.
Jackbox games are really good for playing remotely.
Yeah.
I was playing Quiplash with a bunch of my friends last night. I know, Keith, we've talked about doing Mario Kart remotely. I think this is like encouraging us to all get very crafty. Netflix just released a watch party function where on your desktop you can watch shows simultaneously with friends and have a live chat going.
I love that.
You can't
Oh,
FaceTime
that's
during that.
cool.
But yeah, so companies are getting inventive with ways to let you play, and I think that's great.
I did suggest that I play video games with a friend, and Ariel said, wait, you can do that? You can like play video games together on the internet? I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what most
you can.
people do. That's
It's
how most
quite
people
popular,
play.
actually. That's how people, before the virus, that is also how people would play video games together.
This podcast, again, is brought to you by Shopify and Bubba Rose and Potluck and Pop It Pal and a million other businesses.
Why so many? Because we're sponsored by Shopify, and they do everything they can to support the independent businesses on their platform, so they included them in this sponsorship.
Shopify really does everything possible to support independent businesses. That's kind of why, we're naming these other businesses. In this moment, they actually do support their businesses more than just saying that they do. They are actually including them in this sponsored piece, which is very cool.
Including us.
Yeah, they help us start and sell and market our business. They manage our business. And Shopify powers independent businesses of all sizes so they can support you even if you're small or if you're getting bigger. It's really a great solution for any business out there.
Yeah, really the best business partner you can have with 24/7 customer support. Because just because you're independent doesn't mean that you're not alone.
So see all the ways Shopify is supporting independence at shopify.com/independence. Not independence like Independence Day, independence like you're independent. Go crush it. Shopify, supporting independence. I'm just trying to push Nintendo to go ahead and pre-release all their N64 catalog that they're holding out until later this year.
Yeah.
There's literally Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, GoldenEye. They're going to roll all these games out. And I'm like, guys, if you roll them out now, you will be the kings. Because those are all of our age levels nostalgia. So if you could give us that right now.
I would love to replay Ocarina of Time.
Right?
That'd be
That's
so
one of them.
such a beautiful
and I
game.
think Majora's Mask is also going to come out
The
on it.
3DS
unbelievable game.
The 3DS remaster of those games already exists, so they can just port it over to Switch.
Right.
It is crazy.
That's why they have it. They already have that in their catalog, but they haven't done it yet.
Right.
I will say that everyone's talking about the fun games and the personal projects and the hobbies and all the things that they are going to get to do during quarantine. Little different for me, gang. 12 hours of the day, we're taking care of a sweet baby. So the positives are getting to spend a lot of family time. Negatives are I'm quickly exhausting the things that I can do. We've built forts. We had a huge fort building. We've read the same book several times. We have this closet of emergency toys where we keep opening new toys to get stimulation and activity and doing things. But a little different for me, gang. It's not exactly fun snow day type of environment. It's
Here's the thing, though,
pretty tough.
with a kid at Wes's age, is that you're basically playing 50 First Dates. Wes doesn't remember day to day. Like, you're lucky he's not like an 8-year-old, which my heart's out to parents that are having to homeschool and explain to their kids why they're not going on play dates. You could just keep busting out Frozen 2 and it will delight him like the first time every single time, right?
Yeah. You know,
Sucks for you,
you really don't understand. It's not quite like that, man. It's we do that. We do that. We watch The Lion King. We watch The Lion Guard. It doesn't have an attention span for that long. And also, you feel guilty because as a parent, you're technically not supposed to be showing them screens before they're 3 years old. So we do that sparingly and when we really need a break. But, you know, it's like it's a full-time job. A lot of it's I mean, it's fun. It's like we get more. I feel very, very connected to our child because we are really, really getting in there.
I was talking to
board game night will be limited.
I was talking to
nighttime.
I was talking to a couple people just about this idea, but like a lot of my friends, it's hard for them to focus on anything like work related or creative wise because there's just so much stress. Do you guys feel that? I mean, obviously we have a lot of things down the pipe for the rest of the year for the Try Guys, but I would imagine every day is so like just trying to get through it and not look at the news. Are you finding it hard to kind of focus on the future? Or are you finding that like that's kind of propelling you to be inspired to like work on your creative projects now because eventually we're going to be out of this and like everything will be a little bit better?
It's tough for me, and I imagine some of us, because I like collaborative work.
Yeah.
It's way harder for me to like focus in on projects where I can't like work with other people. Like I would totally be just churning out music right now with Lou Berger, but Huey was just traveling, so he flew like 2 days ago. So I'm like, well, I just have to wait and see what you look like in 7 days before I can collaborate with you. And it kind of, that's what's frustrating and stressful for me, is that like because of this, I'm super extroverted. So like, and Becky is too, and it's just like we just crave being able to hang out. Like we were opening Guinness's last night, and our first instinct was, oh, we should invite some people over. And like, oh, we can't. We can't do that.
You're the true extrovert among us, and I imagine you're in crisis mode. One thing I've been doing is around like 5 p.m. we'll do happy hour and we'll FaceTime, you know, our siblings or family and friends, and just
fun.
Like drink wine and watch the baby eat snacks together.
That's cute.
Yeah,
Eugene,
kinda like that.
What's going on with you over there in your new house? How's it hanging with the doggies?
It's fine. I guess is probably the most introverted guy in the group. I've actually been enjoying the isolation. Doesn't feel much different from how I lived pretty much every weekday for the past 5 years. So it's just been weird because I'm not used to Matt being home constantly. In fact, I kind of want him to leave sometimes.
Totally. Yeah. So you know,
you want more social distance. You're like, this is.
I could use a little more social distance. Yeah. I mean, we're a little concerned because all of these vlogs that we have to do at home, this creative content that we have to showcase what we're doing while here, might inevitably demand me using him more because no one else can film me doing stuff. And I am afraid people will find out that he is even meaner than what they think Becky is. Everyone's like, "Oh, do this sentimental thing," and I'm like, "We're not going to be." I was filming for the second quarantine update vlog, and as I was filming myself ranking my dogs, Matt just passes as he's on a very important call with India and his company. He says, "You guys are so fucking stupid." He's just like, I was like, "How does this look?" And he's like, you guys are so stupid." So, yeah, I'm enjoying the by myself time. I actually like working alone a lot, so it's been good creatively, but it's also just been. I think the worst part is if you work on your computer, it's very difficult not to look at Twitter because that's sort of it's kind of gone past just the general war zone that it's in, and now it's more in like Twilight war zone because suddenly like anything trending has become almost like conspiracy or people bandwagoning, and it's become a little bit beyond toxic. I feel like we're all Ninja Turtles now. Yeah.
I think I'm somewhere in between the two worlds because I have been really trying to find the positives. I had to mentally buy into the idea that I'm going to be here. I've been telling myself that I'm going to be here for a month because however long you guys are here, I'm going to add a week probably as an immunosuppressed person. So I bought into that idea pretty quickly and came up with a list in my bullet journal, in my hashtag Bujo, of things I want to accomplish over the next couple of weeks. And so that has been great, right? Like being able to carve out hours at a time to do personal writing, I've found really rewarding and refreshing. That said, it is incredibly hard to not be constantly refreshing social media. And as Eugene alluded to, like every time you reload Twitter, it's like every day is a new world. It's not like a new day. We are entering a new plane of existence every single day. And so I've been forcing myself to carve out times where my social media is locked for 3 hours at a time, which doesn't sound like that much, but is a lot to go 3 hours without checking anything. And I found that crucial. It has been so integral to my mental health to say I'm going to catch up on the news at chunks of blocks of time and not let it just consume me. Because I think it's really easy for all of us to just be in our homes, basically just refreshing Twitter all day and feeling dread.
Right.
I was definitely doing that for the first several days where I would just nonstop dive into every single thing, like refresh every single thing and read it. Like I could be reading the same type of thing over and over again. And then around Tuesday, I had a moment where I just realized that it wasn't helping and it was only hurting my mental health and my, actually physical health. Because if you're stressed out, it can suppress your immune system. So I tried to...
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah. Or, if you're reading it right before bed, you have trouble sleeping, of course. So, I tried to...
hurts your immune system.
Exactly. Yeah. I tried to let it be and focus on the positives, like you're saying. I am a little more introverted. Social responsibilities sometimes feel like obligations. So it is. I'm trying to think of this as just like really special family time. That the only other time I might have something like this is if you're on a like a paternity leave type of thing. I'm like you, Zach, trying to focus on the positives. I will say, Miles, to your point about like how are you dealing with the like how does the work aspect play in?
Yeah,
I have found that very small stressors in the little bit of work I'm doing is like they have like multiplier effects. We had a phone call with our agents about this TV show pitch that we're working on, and like there were some difficulties. We were trying to figure out some stuff, and that's just normal stuff. It's like I normally would be a little stressed out by it, but all good. I've found that with the underlying current of fuck. What if I have it? What if we're here for 3 months? What are we gonna do? What if we run out of food or whatever? The kind of your mind can easily spiral to worst case scenario. With that underlying stress, the minor day-to-day stresses of a difficult phone call or a tough assignment is just that much harder for me, and I had to kind of like calm down and have a snack.
Yeah.
Which, like,
for sure.
Shout out to snacks, y'all.
It sucks because Twitter also provides some of the best like sparks of humanity that I'm able to witness during the crisis. So it kind of showcases the best and worst of everyone. I mean, I don't know why we ain't doing it, but Italy and Spain got some real beautiful moments of people singing in unison from their balconies. Americans aren't doing that, but it's really like those are the uplifting moments.
My balcony sucks.
Yeah.
My balcony faces nothing. I've been going out there every day being like, hello, world. Fucking nothing. Nothing.
It is interesting that I do think in times of like real crisis, which we're experiencing right now, you kind of see people for what they value. And I think in terms of the value system for Americans, it's become rapidly clear that we are raised to be somewhat self-centered as a society, whether it be not, thinking about elders or thinking about even your neighbors. It's a very like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, cowboy capitalist mentality that we go forward with. So seeing those sort of true colors, come out is I think honestly what also has hurt us with the people governing us. I won't go into it because we all know, but certainly I crave a little, a little foresight for elders like the Asians, and maybe a little like communal pop singing with Katy Perry songs like the Europeans. That might be nice, stateside.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of that action.
Like little less focus on the fluctuations in the stock market.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, yes, we get it. The economy is coming to a standstill.
Okay, I'm gonna share one nightmare story, and then we can save it with some uplifting stories from my life.
I mean,
and also
listeners, full disclosure,
we
we said to ourselves we try and be positive on this podcast, but it's tough. So here we go.
Here we go, baby.
Hit it,
but,
Zach.
Well, no. So this is like it was not. This is like it was really scary. It's the most physically anxious I've ever been, to the point of nausea. So
okay.
we are at home, we are social distancing. It is so important for me to be safe because, again, I'm an immunosuppressed person. Maggie was in the kitchen. She's making a sandwich. She has a loaf of bread that my neighbor dropped off for us. It was a little stale by this point. It slipped and the knife fell right into her hand. And it was just like a moment of distraction, and she cut herself so badly, like to the point of like, oh, okay, she needs stitches. Like it was just an immediate like, this is in a normal life, in a normal world, no second guessing, no thought about it. She's never done that. I mean, she's never even come close. She's great in the kitchen. It was just an unprecedented freak accident. But immediately our mind goes, we can't go to the ER. If we go to the ER, she is absolutely, this was, I think, 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. So it's like urgent cares are closed, doctors are closed. The only place she can go is certainly a hotbed of viral activity. So and I'm freaking out because I'm like, I don't know where to go. If she goes there, I can't see her for 2 weeks. But then what? Where am I gonna, is she gonna be in one bedroom and I'm gonna be in the other, and we'll do the old sitcom thing where we put tape down the middle of the room? So she's holding it. We're like, all right, we're just gonna see for 15 minutes and then we'll see if the bleeding stops. Doesn't stop.
Ew.
We go, all right, let's just see if we can go for an hour. She gets it like just enough where it stops bleeding. And luckily, because she is in the medical field, she had all of these, bandages and special things that she could cover up. But, she contacted friends who told her, like, okay, if you do this, but then you won't be able to get stitches after the fact because if there's bacteria in it, you might trap the bacteria in and you could cause gangrene.
Oh my God.
But, just keep it clean, keep it safe, keep it fresh. So we decided after an hour it was good enough and she was able to cover it and we were able to prevent stitches. We were able to prevent going to the emergency room. And she's been able to bandage in a way that's totally keeping her safe. But it was very scary. It was this moment of like, oh my God, I can't fuck up in any way. If I, like, the littlest fuck ups right now threaten to expose you to bigger fuck ups. And it was an hour of just pure terror.
Yikes.
Fun story.
Yeah, that is true disaster zone, where like a small thing just snowballs into a horrifying thing because of the situation we find ourselves in.
You guys remember Gangrene Gang from Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
Remember Powerpuff Girls? That
I
show.
love Powerpuff Girls.
I didn't watch Powerpuff Girls.
Why did you not watch Powerpuff Girls?
What?
Are you out of your
I didn't
mind?
have I didn't have Cartoon Network.
Oh, you would love
that
Powerpuff.
sucks.
You
Oh,
would
you
love
love Cartoon
Powerpuff
Network.
Girls.
But I don't have the nostalgia that makes it
You don't
more
need-
important.
Oh, you don't
You
need
could
nostalgia.
develop
That's
nostalgia.
what you think because you have the nostalgia.
No.
No,
So-
it's
see, some
excellent.
childhood cartoons
No.
are some childhood cartoons,
Try it.
They still hold up just as an adult. You know, like you
It's
don't have to.
objectively
That's-
good.
You say they still hold up. That means you have previous knowledge and some sort of relationship with that.
No.
content. I have no relationship.
Well, I mean,
I understand what you're saying, Keith, but like compared to what? Like what else are you gonna watch? You got a lot of time on
That's
your
true.
hands. You might as well do the whole Dragon Ball Z catalog, because then you can participate in the 90s kids conversations.
Right.
Are you telling
I
me
watched
that you think
other cartoons.
that you think SpongeBob only holds up because we liked it as kids? No, it's just exemplary comedy.
I'm just saying, guys. I tweeted this, but I just rewatched a few SpongeBob episodes. Chocolate with Nuts and Band Geeks are two of the best, funniest episodes of television.
So I'm sure it's easy to find online. In college, one night got stoned and wrote an entire Tumblr essay about why the Powerpuff Girls should be heralded as the greatest of the superheroes. And
wow.
Canonically, they are stronger than any other superhero. And they're just in first grade. Or is it
Oh, yeah.
kindergarten?
They're in
And-
kindergarten.
I mean, if you think about it, pounds per square inch, they got to be putting up some serious numbers.
They're packing the punch. But here was the episode that clinched it. There's an episode where a monster comes and attacks Townsville. Is that the name of the city?
Yep,
Eugene?
the city of Townsville.
The city of Townsville. So there's a monster, and they're like, I think they're grounded, so they're not allowed to attack the monster. And what it turns out is that the monster is a teenager, and this is his coming of age ceremony. And he's from, I forget what it's called, but let's call it Monster Island, which is the name. It's the name of the island where Godzilla's from. Where Godzilla or Mothra, it's where all of these monsters come from. And in the Powerpuff Girls universe, the monsters from Godzilla's island need to come to fight the Powerpuff Girls as basically their bar mitzvah. And if they come back to the island beaten up, they are now a man.
I remember this episode.
So a monster's island, their rite of passage is to get the shit kicked out of them by a bunch of kindergartners. Therefore, Powerpuff Girls are stronger than Godzilla. If so facto, they're the greatest superheroes.
Well, I mean, one
Fight
of their main villains is him, who's basically Satan. He's like literally a god, and they constantly beat.
Yeah.
They're literally beating Satan at every episode he's in. So, or they're in. I think him goes by they. Yeah.
Him does go by they.
Him
It's
goes
very
by they.
interesting.
Yeah. So I think that way ahead of its time.
So way ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what?
absolutely.
I'd say, Keith, did you watch Adventure Time and Steven Universe? Like some of the more recent good ones? Yeah.
All right, I haven't watched Steven Universe. That's the one that I want to watch because I hear people
It's
talk about it like
Incredible.
all the time.
Yeah, you would
So
love it.
If I'm going to watch any right now, it'd be that. Now, here's also the dilemma that I have. Becky doesn't like cartoons. So I only can watch cartoons when Becky's not home. Now, given our situation, we're both home all the time. I'm not going to watch any cartoons. So although compelling arguments you may have are unfortunately not going to be able to be considered at this
Listen,
time.
you guys do separate TV
What's the
nights.
deal with that?
Right? Don't you have a guest room TV?
We do. We could sit in different rooms. I guess that would, we could, it probably would
I think
work.
Social
when-
I
isolation.
think that's going to be necessary as time goes on, right? You're going to have to
Yeah.
You gotta
carve out time from your significant others, or else we're going to go insane.
every taste
Yeah.
every taste your significant other says that they abhor like a genre. So like Ned's dislike of horror films. You just have to find the one thing. You got to discover the one thing that they're okay with. Like Matt also dislikes animation, but he loves Bob's Burgers. Like I found, okay, he likes this vein of comedy. You just have to show them more. The problem is if they don't watch any of it, they're never going to find out what they're okay
I
with.
know. But it's hard to convince people to change their mind. She liked Big Mouth.
Oh,
Heath,
see?
what's the deal with that?
So
though?
she
Becky
likes
just-
dirty ass cartoons. You know, I think now would be a good time to make each of the other Try Guys watch that one thing that you always talk about that the others never watched.
I don't want to watch Game of Thrones. I know it's bad now. I know it ends bad.
Just
Oh, yeah, I
watch,
guess
watch
it's
the first couple seasons and it's fine. Don't watch the end. Just it ends.
I feel like for Zach, it would be getting all of us to watch Lost.
Oh fuck
Oh
yeah,
my
dude!
God.
Oh.
Is that an option? Can I make
No,
you guys do
that's
that?
not an option. I think it's
That's a great binge. That's a great binge show.
Dude, I wasn't even thinking about that. That's a
that
great
would also
idea.
end stupid.
No, it ends
No,
perfectly.
It ends controversially.
It ends
it's not
perfectly.
So Zach and Miles are big Lost fans. I think the other three of us, like,
No, I'm a huge Lost
basically
fan.
haven't watched a single episode.
I've seen every episode
you too,
of Lost.
Eugene?
Yeah.
Oh, just don't have the passion.
Becky's watched
It's
Lost,
good.
too.
You tonight watch the pilot, part 1 and 2, and tell me to my face
The
through
pilot's
FaceTime that it is not the most riveting 2 hours of television that you
No.
have ever fucking watched.
I believe it.
agree.
I
I've
believe
seen
it
the
will
pilot.
be, and that's what worries me because I don't know if I am ready to commit to 10 seasons of something right now.
First of all, 6 seasons. Second of all, one of them was shortened by the writer's strike. Third of
Wow.
all, you literally
That's a
have
shame.
nothing but time. You
What
have
about-
nothing
okay.
but time
That's
right
not
now.
true.
I think
And,
what was
Ned,
easier.
I will say the story. It's all mysteries. So the second you think, oh, maybe I won't watch the next episode, you're gonna have questions, and they're gonna not be answered by the next episode.
Yeah,
I think-
maybe I'll consider it. Maybe if we run out of television,
Prioritize it.
We're kind of in the middle of a couple of shows right now. Got to finish them.
Maybe instead of TV, you should recommend the one movie that the others haven't seen. Maybe like an anime no one's seen. Like, have you guys seen all of Miyazaki's films?
Yes,
All of them, no.
I've been showing Sarah
all
all
of
of
them,
them. They're my favorite movies. They're the fucking
They're
They're
best.
great. Yeah, Miyazaki binge would be a really good night in.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite Miyazaki film, I mean, it's probably Spirited Away. I just think, I would say Spirited Away. But I also love Princess Mononoke. That was my original favorite.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke is really good. Howl's Moving Castle and Ponyo are good, but I watched them when I was much older, so I have a different love for them.
I just checked my phone, and the stock
the
market is
nostalgia.
down a cool, casual 10% again.
Oh, Ned, we were just talking about Ponyo. Why would you interrupt Ponyo? How dare you?
Well, Ponyo's a little fish, and fish sometimes fall down waterfalls, much like the descent of the stock market.
Bro, I watched Contagion. It did not help.
I did too. I watched it yesterday.
It made it much worse
Yeah.
for me. I'm looking more for like I don't know, Mighty Ducks 2. I might rewatch that one.
Oh, wait a minute. Becky is texting me and saying she thinks Mighty Ducks 3 is better than Mighty Ducks 2. Keith.
I don't want to talk.
Keith.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was like arguing with me about
No.
it. Wait, Keith, you
With me,
Yeah.
she texted you because I was arguing with her, and she went to get you to go back her up, and I'm like, he's not gonna back
Mighty
her
Ducks
up.
No one
2
in the
is
world is gonna
Team
back
Iceland,
her up.
right?
Yeah, Team Iceland versus USA
Yes.
introduces all the new characters in a great way. Yeah.
That's the best one.
D3 is when they go to like college.
Does Mighty Ducks 3 have that prank scene where they do the shaving cream in the
Yes.
face?
Yep.
Pretty good scene.
No.
Pretty good
Mighty
scene.
Ducks 3, we're supposed to assume that in Mighty Ducks 2, they go from being one of the best teams in the fucking world, and then they're not good enough to make some prep school team? That's fucking bonkers. And it's just a prank movie. It's not a hockey movie. It's a prank
Yeah, it
movie.
turns in-
It's parent. it's
Also,
like-
Gunnar Stahl, one of the best villains of all time.
That's a type of movie I think we haven't successfully been able to recapture, which is like the 90s era children's sports film. You know? Like Mighty Ducks,
Yeah.
Little Giants, Big Green.
Yep, the Big Green.
Ladybugs. All of these movies are incredible. But when was the last time that kids got a great sports movie with like a rambunctious cast of misfits, you know?
Maybe you could say like Bring It On is like a modern day fun sports movie.
That goes into
Kind of,
that goes
yeah.
into teen romance. That goes into teen rom-com, which is a little different than kids sports.
Fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
if you need some
Bring it-
advice on
Wait,
surviving
Ned,
the
bring it-
quarantine.
I just need to
What?
tell you, Bring It On is 20 years old.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Whoa.
That movie came out in the year 2000.
I am humbled by time. And if you are humbled by time, you might need some advice. Which brings us to our next segment where the youngest and least experienced of us gives advice. That's advice that'll go for Miles with Miles.
It's advice that'll go for miles. Tune it to your radio station. It's advice that'll go for miles. Everyone get ready, Miles Nation. Miles Nation, go. It's advice that'll go for miles.
Yeah.
Advice that'll it'll go 4 miles.
What's up, Miles Nation? That was, of course, the classic Miles theme song. How y'all doing in this quarantine?
How do y'all do it?
How do y'all doing in this quarantine? Do you ever want to get back to a simpler time? Are you distrustful of technologies?
What? Easy.
Computers are scary. And the ways of the future are too stinky. What y'all are gonna want to do is be distrustful of the cloud and hook y'all's computers up to Ethernet.
Yeah, I don't have Ethernet run in my house.
Hook your computer up to Ethernet and y'all won't be disappointed.
I think I disagree with the basic premise of being distrustful with technology.
Wi-Fi can be unreliable when you're trying to do things on the internet. But you know what's faster? Oh, I don't know, Miles. What's faster? It's gonna be
Ethernet.
Thanks, Miles. What you're gonna want to do is hook your computer up to an Ethernet cable. I like Ethernet. All my devices are connected to Ethernet because it is way faster. Up to
Where are you?
20. Huh?
Are you currently on Ethernet?
No.
What the fuck are you doing, Miles?
Huh?
I thought you take your own advice, Miles.
I do normally, darling, but here's the catch. The reason I realized I needed to be on Ethernet is because I was trying to live stream that thing like I was talking about, but I didn't have a USB-C to Ethernet port because the fucking MacBooks don't come with Ethernet ports in them. So I ordered on Apple.com, not a sponsor. I ordered an Ethernet to USB-C adapter, so that'd be awesome. I can do stuff in the future. But like my TV, hardwired to Ethernet. My PS4, hardwired to Ethernet. Because it's just so much faster. And then you don't have to wonder, could my internet be faster? Because your odds are it probably is fast enough. You're just not getting like a stable stream.
Does my TV have an Ethernet port?
Yes. Almost all smart TVs have Ethernet ports.
So where?
It's right in the back, baby. Right, yeah, because like my Samsung TV, Ethernet port, because you're pulling in so much data. I mean, my TV is also pretty nice. It's like a 4K TV. So in order for Netflix to give it 4K data, it needs an Ethernet stuff. Yeah, not to brag.
Don't you need to pay?
Well, that part I'm on
nice.
board with. Everyone should definitely have their router right next to their TV.
Yeah,
run a little Ethernet cable up. Boom. Run an Ethernet
Okay,
cable
I'll do
to
that.
your PS4 or gaming system of choice. Boom.
Boom.
But otherwise, I don't know, Miles. It's pretty nice to be able to take your laptop anywhere you want to in the house.
Totally. Okay, recently I moved my desk around in my room, and now I've got like a workstation. I've got my chair. I took my chair from the office, so I brought it home with me for my work opportunities. And now like I have like a freaking console. I'm like Captain Kirk in the Spock machine. And so I like having that, but so I'm like, well, maybe if I had Ethernet over here, I'd just be like locked in, and then I can disconnect when I want. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all right.
I think it's good advice. I'm gonna order an Ethernet cable and hook my router into my TV. I like that. That's good advice.
That?
Yeah. And
We started skeptical, but this is the first time I think that we've all listened to your advice and gone like, all right.
I might go do this. Yeah.
Dude, tell me something.
yeah, brother.
You guys don't want to try yoga for the first time?
Yeah. Also, get into yoga.
Okay.
And watch Lost in between your yoga.
Yeah, I will say I was shamed. So much has changed from last week's podcast to this week's podcast. And I mentioned something about like not washing my hands. And then we did a bit where I went to the bathroom and washed my hands. I do wash my hands. And most of that was for the bit. But people were shaming me online for not washing my hands. I do wash my hands, I promise.
I don't know, Miles. You get in and out of that bathroom pretty quick.
Cancel me.
So like the Europeans, we should recite something together. We should do the famous lines from the seminal classic Bring It On, right?
Yeah.
Which one?
You know,
What? I didn't hear
you
it.
guys know it. So it's I'm sexy.
I didn't hear it.
I'm sexy. I'm cute. I'm popular to boot. Take it away, Zach. Pigeon, great hair. The boys all love to stare. I'm wanted.
I love to
I'm
stare.
hot. I'm everything you're not.
I'm everything you're not.
I'm pretty.
Not.
I'm cool.
Pretty.
I
Cool.
dominate.
Cool. I'm
Dominate.
Cool.
Yeah. Who am I? Just guess.
Guess.
Guys wanna touch my chest.
Touch my chest.
I'm rocking. I smile. And many think I'm vile.
And many
I'm flying.
think I'm vile. I'm flying. I jump. You can look, but you don't hump.
hump.
Yeah.
I'm major. I war.
Major, I roar. I swear I'm not a whore.
We cheer and we lead. We act like we're on speed.
We act like we're on speed.
Guys, this movie's great.
Don't hate us
because we're beautiful.
We don't like you either. We're cheerleaders. We are cheerleaders. Roll call.
Roll call.
Roll call.
I'm Keith.
I'm Miles.
I'm Ned.
And I'm Big Eugene.
I'm Whitney.
Well, see, that's maybe why Americans don't do that.
What was the context for doing that?
You know.
That's what Europeans are doing.
Ending on
Europeans are like coming together.
Yeah, they're singing Italian songs.
Or they're like playing My Heart Will Go On instruments from their balconies.
Yeah. Okay, before we go, rapid fire lightning round. What's one thing that you've done that is positive, that has made your life socially distancing from other people a little bit better, that people can try at home? Ready, go. Keith.
We've been making some new recipes that have been very fun and delicious.
I built a fort and connected with my child.
Getting creative with sex stuff.
Woo!
Yeah.
I won't expand, but yeah.
I've been playing video games online with my friends to stay connected across the world.
Zach. I was forced to cancel my anniversary trip with Maggie, so I threw a picnic in our living room, and so you can find ways to be romantic and treat the people closest to you with love, even in these trying times.
And then you got creative with sex stuff.
Woo! And then,
I swear I'm not a whore.
I'm not a whore.
Whitney.
You can
Courtney.
touch my chest.
Wow, guys, 2000 was a very different time.
Yeah, sure was.
It was. Please be safe out there, people. I know that it's not fun and it's hard to socially distance, but what you're doing is really important. I don't think we can emphasize that enough. Things are changing quickly every day, but the only thing that we can control right now is staying inside, doing what we can to prioritize our health and the health of those people around us.
And just remember that if it seems like it doesn't have much effect to the outside world, that's a good thing, because if everyone's doing their part and self-isolating, there are less deaths and the news will be less drastic. If more shit is happening, it's because people are not staying inside. So just remember that. We don't want bad news.
Well, there you have it. We'll be recording weekly still during the quarantine. We'll give you our updates of how we're doing working from home. Hopefully not going to go too crazy. But as always, please make sure to subscribe. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes store. It helps other people discover the podcast. And be sure, support the show at tryguys.com or not. These are trying times. Support your local businesses instead.
Keith, hit us with that TryPod quarantine theme song.
Stay inside, don't get sick, just love yourself all by yourself. It's the TryPod.
Until next time, stay beautiful.